PlayStation Update 5.0 is a huge letdown, but is Microsoft doing it right? Well, it kinda looks like it. Hey, Zach, great to have you here again.
Hey, yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, totally my fault. You're listening to the Everything PlayStation podcast. It will be up every week on Monday, unless there's something big happening, then I will move it to Tuesday, but I will communicate that via Twitter. We are back with the weekly schedule, so totally look out for that. Right here on YouTube, on the Your Raptor YouTube channel, we will talk about the PS4 Update 5.0, also go into the rapid news, the kind of most interesting PlayStation news, including PS Plus games, an Xbox exclusive, going to PS4, stuff like that, and also the drop, the games that are coming out this week that are worth noting. So, Zach, let's jump into the topic, where we go in depth on a specific topic. PlayStation 4 Update 5.0, they announced what it is, what we can expect. It was already leaked by Eurogamer though, but what we can look forward to is a family on PSN, so to make it easier to set up PSN accounts for children and customize the parental control settings. And we also have friend list management, meaning that your friend list can be, you can for example have a Destiny 2 group. Oh, I play Destiny 2 with these people, let's put them in this group, something like that. Then there are new broadcast feature updates. The PS4 Pro users can now stream to 1080p 60 FPS on the Twitch. Was already on YouTube and now also on Twitch, so that is pretty cool if you stream via your PS4. There are some other things added, like for community, that you can say, hey, I'm live right now, something like that. Then when you listen to Spotify, you can now share those tracks through the PSN message app. So you can say, hey, I got a cool track, listen to it right here. So you don't have to do it via a third party app. Then we've added a new setting that allows you to disable pop-up notifications while you're watching a movie or TV show. So on Netflix you will not see, oh, blah, blah, it has come online, something like that. And lastly, you will have the option to change the color of your pop-up notifications to either be white or black.
Whoa.
Fine. I was like sitting
dude.
there, why can't I change the color of my pop-up notification? And then we also have, last but not least, notifications to the quick menu. Of course, if you hit the PlayStation button a couple of times, then it will pop up and not take over your whole screen, and now you can view your notifications there as well. So yeah, there you have it, PlayStation 4 Update 5.0. It should be this pillar update, right? 5.0 normally means, oh man, now it's going to happen. But yeah, we kind of have this. I really think that some people will download this update and think, yeah, okay, so what did they change?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, there's small refinements, really, and it really speaks to the fact that it seems like Sony doesn't really care about numbers like 5.0, because if it was any other company, I think it would probably be very popular things introduced, like name changes, for instance, everyone just wants them, but they just don't even have an option even to pay for them. It's kind of baffling at this point why they haven't done that. But then on the other side of the pond, you know, with the Xbox, they have a lot of updates that refine the OS as well, but they tend to be more bigger refinements. For example, back in the day with the original Xbox One OS, they changed that completely to Windows 10 OS when Windows 10 came out and everything. So it kind of made everything more streamlined and allowed them to do more cross-play functionality with the PC and the Xbox One. It just unilaterally changed the scope of the operating system, which just gave it more sort of life. And then they also brought forth Game Pass, which is kind of like PlayStation Now, but in my opinion better because it's not over the internet. It's you just download it and then play it offline. You also have stuff like get backwards compatibility, which is also way better than what PlayStation Now is, because if you have the game, you own it already. You don't have to pay for it again. So there's a lot of random stuff that Microsoft's thrown in there that Sony could easily do to make the OS way better and have a lot more features within it. But it seems like for the most part their focus isn't on doing drastic changes that would benefit the entirety for the better, stuff that they could carry over to maybe the next PlayStation. They just kind of care about making a somewhat simplistic OS, but having enough little things you could tweak here and there to make it customizable to where people aren't annoyed by it.
Yeah, Yeah, it really looks like Microsoft has way more resources going towards like making their system like work better, because I mean, the changes they made to the OS was also to make it faster, and it's
Yep.
not like that the the PlayStation 4 OS is super fast. It's like pretty slow actually. On a PS4 Pro, you would think that they optimized it for that hardware. Well, it's exactly the same. Like if I go to different menus, there's still like always that please wait. So Microsoft tweaks that, and they're even like making a new they have a new update available for their testers that will go live later for everyone else. That is really like all about customizing and also making it faster, so you can access the things you want faster. To be fair, I thought the PlayStation 4 like OS that they have during launch, like the same stuff they have right now, was better than what Microsoft had. But still, the OS for the Xbox One is now way snappier because they kind of put a lot of resources toward it to make it better. Well, we at the PS4 camp are still, we are still struggling with kind of the speed of everything. And of course the things you mentioned, like the name change. They did add some things though. They did a survey like a while back where they asked, what do you want? And some of the things they kind of ask you there, like folders. They added that. That was like one thing people really loved. A pair offline mode, so people don't see when you're still using your PS4. Delete items from your library. I don't know if I don't think that's on the PS4 yet. Also, like things like the PlayStation Store, like Xbox already looked at it, changed a lot of stuff to their store, while we still don't have a wish list, for example, or like if you really try to like go to the PS4 PlayStation Store, it's still hard to navigate through. For example, when the Frozen Wilds was announced, or when the pre-order was up, a lot of people just could not find it on their PlayStation Store because it was buried somewhere. So
Yeah.
there's still a lot of stuff that they need to fix. And the big thing, of course, being the change PSN ID that is possible on the Xbox. And now 10 years later, we are still here with whatever name you came up with 10 years ago, you still can't change it. But there's probably like a huge part of... I think that if they could easily change that, they would have done it. But it's supposed to be, pretty hard. Still, though, doesn't make it any worse or any good.
I honestly can't understand how it's that hard for them to do it unless they just completely failed at or like designing their operating system from the start. There's really no reason, because like for example, I just changed the name on my Steam account, like bam, instantly, like literally 2 seconds, and you could do that on the Xbox One as well. There's literally no reason why they should be running into this unless they completely screwed up somewhere else and they don't know how to fix it. And to speak to that, that's possible because I mean, look at the fact that Xbox is owned by Microsoft. Microsoft owns the whole Windows operating system line. They've been working on operating systems for a really, really long time. They know what they're doing. Where with Sony, they've been working on gaming operating system, sure, but that's not really as intensive as an actual full-on operating system. So there's definitely things that they're going to run into. There's going to be things that, you know, Microsoft probably thinks of way quicker than they do in terms of, oh, this works like this on the PC. People tend to like this stuff on the PC. We gathered all this data on the PC to know that this is something that people frequently use. Let's add that to the console. Where Sony doesn't really have that. They have to go based off of what their staff uses, what the players use, like where they frequently go, what they request, and so on and so forth, and then implement stuff based off of that, based off their own ideas. They don't have an entire operating system line to gather information on to then implement it onto their gaming platforms. So I definitely understand that there is differences. It's just I wish that Sony, with their tremendous lead right now within the console war, would do more to cement, we are for the gamers, we're here to, stay, we're trying to make this operating system as best as possible, instead of just sort of minor things here and there. I mean, they could easily deflate Microsoft by doing things like adding backwards compatibility instead of just having PlayStation Now, and making PlayStation Now even more affordable, because it's a pretty expensive, subscription service, and you can argue that you don't get really enough quality titles on it yet. I mean, sure, they've been adding more and more, but it's still debatable. So, I mean, there's stuff that they can work on. But it's not like they're doing a horrible job either. It's just there's a lot of stuff that they can definitely improve upon. But I do need to go ahead and change my Steam name back.
Go do that. No, but what you mean with like they're on top? I think that's also the reason why they don't really care. They're like, we are all. I mean, everyone will buy PS4s this holiday. Nobody will look at the OS and say, or at the recent updates and say, well, they've been pretty lackluster. Let's skip this one and not play Horizon.
They're just gonna look at the games. That's all they care about.
Yeah. So it's kind of just that makes it kind of sad. I mean, of course, I kind of understand the situation. Why would you put so many resources in it then? But on the other end, you can also like kind of grab that success and yeah, make sure it goes even further by enhancing the experience that a lot of people now have. So two sides to it. But yeah, I think that for a 5.0 update, this is really like lackluster. I mean, previous updates like the .0 updates introduced, like, for example, the quick menu. That's really something that, yeah, kind of makes your gaming experience just better. Or not gaming experience, but just your overall experience with the PS4 better. This is just, yeah, I mean, the family on PSN thing, the parental control, of course, great for a lot of people, but something that everyone can use, like the folders, was also pretty significant. There's really nothing like that in this update, and that is for a 5.0 update really bad, I think.
Yep.
So I think we can move on, right, to the rapid news.
Yeah, certainly. The first thing that we have is the PlayStation Plus games, which you actually covered on your channel. There's a little bit of confusion, but I'm just going to run down what's available, and then you could sort of discuss like what went on with all the confusion that went on when this was originally leaked and so on and so forth. But the September 2017 PlayStation Plus games are going to be Hatoful Boyfriend, Infamous Second Son, Strike Vector X, We Are Doomed, Handball 16, Truck Racer, Hatoful Boyfriend for the Vita, We Are Doomed for the Vita, and Handball 2016, and also Truck Racer were for the PlayStation 3. So there's only like 4 games for the PlayStation 4: Hatoful Boyfriend, Infamous Second Son, Strike Vector X, and We Are Doomed. So
still great.
Yeah.
And what they also added is a PlayStation VR game that you can download now through, I think, November it was, and that is Rigs. So that's the game from Gorilla Cambridge, the launch game for PSVR. It was my favorite launch game for the hardware. It's a pretty cool game. It's like a multiplayer game where you're in a mech, so it works really well with VR because you're in a robot, you're not physically moving in the game as well, so it makes sense that you sit at home as well. It has just controller support, so no move stuff. And yeah, you kind of shoot at people, build up points, and then you have to like run through a sort of circle in the middle of the map, and then you score a point. And yeah, it can be pretty hectic. It's a pretty fun game, and it was $60 when they first released it. So they gave it away for free now to PS Plus members, to even if you have a PSVR, like to say, hey, that PlayStation Plus membership for you is also really nice. So I think that's a great thing. And Sony also noted that nearly 2/3 of the PSVR owners in Europe have a PS Plus membership. So they all can like kind of have this Rigs game now. And that's of course also great because I think it was otherwise pretty much a graveyard like online, because it's an online game, and if nobody plays it anymore, now they kind of give that a boost again.
Yeah, and I don't think it would be that surprising if the numbers were the same for the US as well, because you got to figure that if someone's going to drop well over $400, I think for the entire kit it's about $500 for the PSVR headset, if you include the headset, the camera, as well as the controllers, and then if you include the game on top of that. So I think people who are willing to spend that much on a peripheral are going to want to purchase the additional online support as well, the PlayStation Plus. So I'm not surprised by the number, but it is cool to see that there is that active engagement for PlayStation Plus, and it's smart that Sony finally adds in something to entice people to stay subscribed if they are primarily or very enthusiastic about PlayStation VR. So
Yeah, totally. So you want to do next one? Then I will do Assassin's Creed Monster Energy. Let's go.
Yeah, so Dead Rising 4 is coming to the PlayStation 4 in December, and it's going to be containing some new things as well that they're going to throw in. And I think this is very interesting because we just got done talking about like what Microsoft may be doing better than Sony in some regards to like the OS, but what Sony's doing far better than
Well,
Microsoft
yeah,
is retaining their
good point.
exclusives. So there's definitely things that they're doing on both sides of the coin that are better than one another. But I think the main one that's going to drive more and more console sales, especially this holiday, are people saying, oh, you mean that exclusive Dead Rising 4 that was on the Xbox One's now going to be on PlayStation 4? Oh, well, I guess I'll just buy PlayStation 4 because it seems like that particular console over there doesn't keep its exclusives. So I don't know if I'm going to be buying that for a particular game only for it to show up on another console that I have other games I want to play on. So it's really one of those things where it's like, okay, what are you guys doing over there at Microsoft? Like, what are you guys doing to allow this to happen to your exclusive? I mean, it kind of makes me think, is, one of the bigger titles next, other than Dead Rising? Because Dead Rising has been a pretty big exclusive for them for a while. So I don't know why this has happened now.
Yeah, I mean, they probably did not pay Capcom enough to make it like a full exclusive, or they thought, yeah, we can pay them a lot, but is it worth it? I mean, the game was also on PC, I think, so just like any other Xbox One exclusive. But that is now coming to PS4. I don't know, Dead Rising, I think, has been like going downhill in terms of success, because Capcom has been like releasing Dead Rising 3 and then Dead Rising 4 on the Xbox. Maybe it will work well for them on PS4 now, but I don't know. It's it's sad to see another, or I don't know. I mean, of course, for everyone it's better that Dead Rising 4 is now coming to the PS4. More people can play it. But of course, looking at the business side of Microsoft, I think if like a bigger title comes to PS4, I don't know what is left though. I mean, that is not like published by Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if like you see Halo or Gears of War or Forza or something major that they actually own come over the PlayStation 4, we know there's a sink ship in somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. But that will not happen.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen.
What is interesting, of course, that they have like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, like they are publishing that, or at least like making sure, throwing as much resources at them as possible to make sure it hits this year for the Xbox One, because it's a exclusive till the end of the year. So I would not be surprised if like in the first week of the January it's coming to PS4 as well. But then they can just brag about it in the holiday season. Would not be surprised if that was the case. But yeah, I don't know. People will enjoy it, but I don't think it will hurt like the bottom line of Microsoft's.
Yeah. I mean, this comes down to what their priorities are at this point. I mean, I don't know what the sales are for Dead Rising. I know Dead Rising 2 was across all platforms for the most part. Dead Rising 3 is when it started to become more exclusive. And, of course, Dead Rising 4, we know it's been exclusive up until this point. So, yeah, interesting.
I think they sell like maybe a few million.
Probably.
Here I see like Dead Rising 3 was at 1.7 million, and that was a few months after release. So it's not like that big anymore. So, but yeah, it will totally get a boost now. What is interesting, talking a little bit about Xbox versus PlayStation, the Assassin's Creed Origins version of the Xbox One X might have a 1080p 60 FPS mode. So that's pretty huge. I mean, that's like the developers are aiming for that at E3. I talked with them to say, okay, so is this 30 FPS? What are the Xbox One X enhancements? So then, yeah, I was playing on a Project Scorpio dev kit. And yeah, they said they were trying to get to 60 FPS. And now they kind of, at PAX, they also kind of talked about the potential 1080p 60 FPS mode for the Xbox One X. I don't know. I don't think that will be on PS4 Pro, because Microsoft is also like really working with Assassin's Creed. It's like a branded Assassin's Creed game. Just like with the Activision games like Call of Duty and Destiny 2, we don't know what the enhancements for Xbox One X will be. They're only talking about PS4 Pro. Kind of the same with Assassin's Creed Origins. So I don't know if they will also push the PS4 Pro, or if the PS4 Pro is even capable of running the game in that thing. But I think it's a pretty significant difference. Yeah. Of course, you can also like kind of go for 4K, but yeah, I don't know. Speaking of Assassin's Creed, there is a Ubisoft teams up with Monster Energy for Assassin's Creed Origins, like Assassin's Creed Origins branded Monster Energy, and what you get is pretty interesting, because it does impact the gameplay a little bit. Those are rare items though. So in Assassin's Creed Origins you have like yeah, like an RPG, like the rarities, right? The common, I think you have, yeah, legendary, and also have like the yellow version. So, or no, rare is like purple, legendary is like the yellow thing. So these are rare items, so they are purple, pretty good. You can upgrade in Assassin's Creed Origins every weapon that you have to the max level. So if you like a weapon a lot, you can just go to the like I think the blacksmith or something like that in the city, upgrade it to the max level. So then you will still be able to use the weapons you get for the monster energy, like till the end of time. Because what will happen is you can buy like different packs of monster, single can, 4 packs or 10 packs even, and then you can get a code that you can enter on a website, and then you can kind of put that, I think, on your PlayStation 4 or whatever system you're playing on, and get one of these weapons. I don't know, it's not that impactful. Maybe it would have been better if they did it with outfits, because those are cosmetic. Those do not really impact the gameplay. On the other hand, it's a single player game, so are we really supposed to care? It's a little bit like drink to win. That's it.
Yeah, not to mention a nasty a nasty energy drink too. But I mean, it's really, I don't know. It's been done in the past with like Mountain Dew and stuff. I know I've seen Call of Duty, Halo, stuff like that done in the past numerous times, and I don't know how much it works like in terms of marketing wise. I don't have the numbers on that, but I don't know. I find it kind of silly. I mean, it's I guess there's probably a good bit of people who drink Monster Energy drink that also like Assassin's Creed, but
yeah, or now we'll start to care.
Yeah, or maybe now we'll start to care, but I don't know. I think of like the normal monster, like the normal monster flavors, and I just want to vomit. I like their iced tea juice monsters though. I thought that was all right, but they're just,
the iced tea juice. Well, what
yeah,
color
it's
is that?
I don't know. I think it's like a yellowish. I had them a while back, but when I was drinking energy drinks.
That's the one. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They also did like some sort of 7-Up flavor, and that's like a completely white can. I don't know if you know that one.
Yeah, I know that one. I just hate their original flavor, so. But I don't really drink energy drinks hardly anymore to begin with, because they're just terrible for you. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it'll work, maybe.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, it shows you that Assassin's Creed is also like back and a major franchise, because like you said, normally Destiny 2, Call of Duty, like games like that do that. So the marketing push for this game will be huge if they are doing this. Although I'm also like, how is this like that they don't like? Does Ubisoft pay for this, or is Monster like, hey, we want to do this? I mean, it kind of is promotion for Assassin's Creed, so I would think that Ubisoft is paying Monster. On the other hand, maybe people will be buying more Monster because they get an Assassin's Creed code. So
I would have to assume that it's probably a lucrative deal for both of them, where they're not trying to price gouge each other, because they both understand, at least if they negotiate it correctly, what each of them are bringing to the table. Because I mean, they're going to be pumping out marketing that has Assassin's Creed Origins promoting Monster, and Monster's going to be doing the same as well. So it's a cooperative effort. So maybe it didn't cost them hardly at all, because they understood it's a cooperative effort. Who knows?
Yeah, it will be interesting. So I thought it was interesting to share this. Yeah, let's go over to the drop. Let's drop it. This week is Destiny 2 week. I mean, we can't ignore it. It's Rockstar energy, has it. Yeah, that's the let's just run down the games that will be coming out this week. Like I mentioned, Destiny 2. You will be playing on PC, right?
Yes, I will. I can't stand 30 frames per second in shooters.
I know.
Can't, so
it's so interesting to see a lot of people that I played Destiny 1 on PS4 with, that do have like a decent PC, try to beta on PC as well, and yeah, they kind of don't want to go back. But on the other hand, they are Destiny fans as well, and if you are really like a Destiny fan, you want to play at launch. You don't want to wait like a month and a half for the PC version. So they might like switch over to PC when it comes there eventually. For now, yeah, we have to wait and see. It's gonna be. I mean, I feel, and I'm like, I'm like really deep into the gaming news and stuff like that. I feel like the hype is way less than with the previous original Destiny, don't you think?
I think it's realistic hype. I don't think it's actually blown out of proportions hype like it was before, and it makes sense why, because Destiny 1 was Bungie's first sort of game that was away from Xbox, and it was going to be like a whole brand new IP, and then it fell flat on its face for the most part, at least initially, and then the DLC, you can argue, changed the whole dynamic, but how many people bought that DLC? I mean, that's a whole other story as well. So the Destiny 2, I think, is going to bring a lot more people back in, and hopefully it lives up to the expectations that they've sort of brought out and, you know, put out there for us. And we're going to find out very soon with the consoles, and so you guys get to beta test it for us that are going to wait for the PC version. So
yeah, we'll be playing on Wednesday, totally. And I don't know, I'm like, there was a reason why I quit with the first Destiny, so I'm like, yeah, I don't see that has changed. Like, they still have the same kind of weekly things you gotta do. Like, you have the Nightfall Strike, you got the raid, you got the PvP you can do, the trials are back. It just, I kind of miss a lot of the new stuff, why I should care. And then I played like the beta on PC as well, because it was not in town when the PS4 beta was live. I saw just a lot of the same enemies. Like, I mean, you did not really play a lot of Destiny 1, right?
I think I got close to beating it. I got, I think, on Venus or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't remember too much about it.
Okay.
It's really, it was really a hard thing to remember, to be honest. But
oh, totally. Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm interested in. Like how they will like tackle the story this time should be way better. But like more
seemed pretty interesting, so that's good.
Yeah, at least they kind of made it. But that's also like, of course, the prologue, they know, okay, yeah, the beta will be live, so
gotta hook everyone.
Yeah, gotta make sure that there's a lot of explosions in the first one, and then later on, you never know, right?
Where's Michael Bay? We need him for one chapter. Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. So will be interesting to see if the quality like maintains through the whole campaign, but I don't know, that it just feels so familiar when you also see gameplay. I know that if you like ask someone that doesn't know Destiny, okay, watch this gameplay, watch that gameplay, and then you show like an image of Destiny 2, like which gameplay did you see, like what was Destiny 2 there? It just looks so similar. It does not look like that big of an improvement in my opinion. So I will be interesting to see. They just tweaked a lot. It was like just more like a tweak game than to add a lot of new stuff. So curious to see. But I will be playing it. We'll be checking it out. We'll be playing NAC 2, the other big big game, not an exclusive.
Well, I'm gonna make a prediction here. NAC 2 is gonna outsell Destiny 2, obviously. I mean, I'm just joking.
All those children running to the store. Can't wait.
Yeah, we were making a joke though before. Yeah, it does look better. We were making a joke before the show that when dads go into the store or whatever and they buy Destiny 2, they're gonna see like NAC 2 or whatever, and they're gonna pick that up for the kids. Yeah. It's like, no, they're not. Only if they have 2 PS4s. The dad's gonna totally steal the PS4, and the kids is gonna be thrown to the wayside. But I don't know. I played NAC 1 a little bit, but I didn't really feel thrilled about it. When is it a launch game? With the PS4?
Yeah, it was a launch game.
Yeah, so I mean that speaks volumes right there. Most launch games for consoles are not that great. Although Killzone Shadowfall was alright, so.
Yeah, but what it was like with NAC, like why this sequel should be better is that for the launch game they did not have a lot of time. They really had this like hit this deadline to have this kind of kids game for the PS4 launch as well. But now they find like NAC 2 is, I think, like what they wanted in the first place. And it also has like co-op that is not really, I mean, in NAC 1 the co-op was just so bad that one player could not, or you only had a game over screen if player 1 died. So if player 2 died, it could just respawn over and over again. So what we did was we put player 1 in a safe spot, player 2 killed everyone, and then we continued. Like, there was stuff like that in that game that it just didn't make sense. So, curious to see. I mean, I hear a lot of good stuff about the demo they put up as well. And it looks better. I don't know if it's really going to be a success. Because I think that a lot of people are still like, yeah, it's that first one was not really good, so why should I care about this one? But yeah, we will have to wait and see. It's interesting that is launching this week as well. I think that that's really the only other retail game. I mean, why should you launch another retail game if Destiny 2 is out, right?
Yeah, that's not a good
idea. Oh, we got Drive Girls for PS Vita. A retail as well.
I mean, all the Vita owners might be happy about that.
I can't play Destiny 2 on your Vita, so gotta do something. I think that's it. Yeah, that's interesting. Last week was like huge. Last week Life is Strange as well, Before the Storm. If you are a Life is Strange fan, totally check that out. If you aren't, totally check it out. It's awesome. But play the first one first. Yeah, so I think we already hit like the timing we're aiming for with this podcast. Just a 30-minute like quick podcast going in depth in the things on the things we think are interesting enough to talk about. So, Zach, you okay with any last words before we end it?
I mean, I think we sort of covered everything. It's been, an interesting sort of week, and I'm very curious to see how Destiny 2 launches, what condition it's in, what reviews pop out with it, because the gaming press was really harsh on it with Destiny 1. So I'm wondering whether or not that's going to be the same thing with Destiny 2.
Don't think so.
And also with all like the story cinematic compilations, I'm hoping that they're not like 10 minutes long like a lot of the Destiny 1 sort of compilations, where I hope that there's a lot of cinematics that fill a good bit of time, so that way we know that there's going to be a good story there rather than just filler stuff here and there to give context to what's going on. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting week just to see that aspect of things. And then also with NAC 2, will it sell even enough? I mean, that's a tough game to launch against, even though it's completely different. It's just the marketing beasts that Destiny 2 has. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a fun week to sort of see sales-wise how each of them do, reviews-wise how each of them do, especially since they're both sequels, and both of them had very rocky initial launches with their original games.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, Activision already said the pre-order numbers for Destiny 2 are above the first one. So I don't know. It will be. Yeah, I mean, well, is that really weird though? There are way more PS4s, and yeah, I mean, it was also on PS3, but who played it on PS3? Seriously. So will be interesting to see. When we know more, we'll of course probably record it. So be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on the Everything PlayStation podcast. We'll be up every week, early in the week. I'm gonna say it like that because I want to dedicate to Monday. Like Monday is always the record time when I will put it up. But maybe like today, the PS4 update 5.0 hits. I want to make a video about that, and to then have the podcast up there as well. Kinda is a little bit too much. So yeah, I want to space it out if necessary. But we are aiming for a Monday release every week. Zach, of course, thanks a lot for discussing the PlayStation news with me. Like the video to support the podcast. And of course, let us know in the comments what you think of all the things we talked about. And if you have any feedback or questions, your general questions, let us know as well. Thanks a lot for watching. We will speak to you next time, and goodbye.
Bye.